Madhusudan,
My inspiration for this piece was actually hearing you sing for the first time. We've known each other for so long, from the time when I was in college in Miami and you were living there, and then again in New York, and all this time I had known you as a sitar player and a guitar player, but I had never known that you sang until I went to this gig that you were doing with Badal Roy, the tabla player, who's also on the recording.
Yeah.
And you'd played a bunch of instrumental pieces with you and then you sang a couple of things, and I was so knocked out by the sound of your voice and the whole thing, and just finding out that you sang and you sang so amazingly. So I remember rushing backstage afterward and saying I really wanted to write a piece for you. And what should it be?
We talked about material that would have some transporting quality, something that would be profound, yet be relatable to all cultures and so on. And for some reason, the Bhagavad Gita just came to mind, and it's set in a dramatic setting. And at the same time it has metaphor, it has philosophical import. The Gita is theoretically a part of a bigger work called the Mahabharata. The entire Mahabharata is really a symbolic story, and it refers to the human condition and its ascension into higher consciousness. So it goes through all these incredible phases, and everything is symbolic. All the characters are symbolic. If you analyze the Sanskrit names, you can figure out what they stand for, actually. And so in this, the climax of the Mahabharata is this battle between these two clans, and who are also cousins of each other. And one kingdom has been basically stolen through a gambling game, from the rightful owners of the kingdom. And Arjuna is on the side of these rightful owners of the kingdom. So the way to get this back now is, okay, we're going to war. So that's what takes place. The only thing is that all these people, there are relations in, it's not like two just big, totally separate
It really is
clans.
a civil war.
It's a civil war. Yeah, exactly. And what Arjuna sees across the field, as he says, as it's in the libretto itself, is teachers, uncles, grandfathers, and friends. And he's seeing all these people that he's related to, he's known since childhood, who has loved him, reared him, and all of these things. How can someone kill that and be justified? And how can someone who is God, who is sitting as a charioteer for Arjuna, saying him to kill them?
One of the things that's most difficult for Westerners to understand philosophically about the Gita is it seems contrary to what they would expect, that Krishna is saying, yes, you should do, you should fight, you should go to war, you should kill these people, you should kill your relatives, you should kill your family, you should kill your friends. And it's something that they just don't understand. So,
like, how could, and if you look at the culture of India, a land where the Buddha was born, where Gandhi preached non-violence, yet like this most respected book, begins by saying you should kill your friends and you should kill your relatives.
So what does that mean? What does that mean?
Right. Well, the secret of it, that the Gita itself is a metaphoric book. That all these things are symbolisms. This teachers, uncles, grandparents, and all of this all has to do with a person at the moment, as how he has become this person. You know,
Mm-hmm.
how has he become this person? He's become this person because of assimilating this, because of this being learned from here, because of his genetics,
Mm-hmm.
because of because of influence from friends, because of and he's accepted all of that. He's accepted it and made himself this personality who makes this kind of decision, who does this kind of action, who has this kind of feelings, who thinks this is right and that is wrong, and so on and so forth. If he wants to actually see the truth, the vast truth,
Mm-hmm.
which is beyond this limited conditioning, because everyone has a different conditioning. And it's just a matter of it undoing the past and recognizing what the universal nature is. And so to kill these people means to get rid of this past conditioning, to really just eliminate it, completely eliminate it, so that you can be free
Mm-hmm.
of it, so that none of it haunts you anymore, and you can actually see what really is without your conditioning of thought of the past and what your fears of the future or hopes are.
Mm-hmm.
That you're totally clear of all of that, and that's the only way you can perceive what is really happening. And that's the point of the Gita. The Gita is not a book that speaks about an actual battle,
Mm-hmm.
that took place where God came down and said,
Right.
kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
Or
It's
something.
entirely metaphorical.
It's entirely metaphorical.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, during the process or at the beginning, did you have any hesitation? Because, first of all, this book, the Bhagavad Gita, is held as like the highest of the scriptures in a land that is full of scriptures and philosophical and spiritual works.
I didn't really have any
Right.
hesitation or feelings that maybe this was something I shouldn't do or I should be careful. And I think there's a few reasons for that. One is that I'm not trying to present myself as someone who's supremely knowledgeable about the Bhagavad Gita, but rather someone who's interested in it and has been affected by it. Culturally, I felt that the Gita is deals with questions that are so universal,
Right.
that it's not
Right.
the idea of having people outside that culture think about it.
Right.
I thought was a good thing.
From my side, both musically and culturally,
Mm-hmm.
I felt that we addressed everything as totally sincerely and honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Gita is also about.
Mm-hmm.